Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble. John Lewis lived by these words. From his participation in the March on Washington to his protests in Selma,
disperse, you are ordered to disperse.
to his lifelong commitment as a U.S. representative from Georgia. He got in good trouble to help other people's lives be better. Each year, as part of the John Lewis Day of Action, Aspire highlights contemporary good troublemakers. This year, we meet Ohun Ashe, who tells us how she got started making good trouble and why she continues to do so.
These are our streets.
My role in St. Louis civil rights, I call myself the sixth player. So I am willing to do whatever it takes to help people understand what we're going through here, what helps the Black community here. So if it's organizing, if it's creating flyers, if it's taking photos, if it's videography, if it's leading, if it's showing up to a protest and live streaming, I literally will play any role that it takes to just help Black folks feel a little bit more free. Ohun Ashe is actually from a Yoruba tribe in Africa, which means the voice. I found my voice on August 9th, 2014, when Michael Brown was killed by Officer Darren Wilson. I grew up in Jennings, which is right next door to Ferguson, so it felt very real for me. West Florissant and Canfield were all places that I was really familiar with. Hearing about this young guy whose body laid in the street for 4.5 hours, and that wasn't okay. I just started to see how police were reacting to a community that was hurting, and I felt like it wasn't right. I got my undergraduate degree from Southeast Missouri State in journalism and videography, so I always had that passion of telling stories. I went to Lindenwood University and got my master's in digital and multimedia studies. When I first went out into Ferguson, I thought it was important to document what was going on. I can have people on live stream, on Facebook Live, watching and tuning in right then and there. I'm a videographer and I'm a photographer, so I tried to hide behind that lens. But after a while, I felt like it was very important to speak up and say what was on my mind and my heart. And people started to listen, and I realized that we don't have to be a perfect person to have a voice. You just have to be genuine. I had my camera in hand and I was just getting videos and photos of what was going on when I noticed a man on crutches, and they made a circle around him. They were arresting him. So I stood there along with CNN, MSNBC.
I'm not disturbing anything at all. I'm not disturbing anything. It's my right.
They grabbed all of us. I want to say it was around 3 or 4 journalists at that moment that was swept up, that was recording. They put us in the back of a police van, and it was extremely hot, and they left us back there for about an hour. My first time ever being arrested. So that is what pushed me into realizing that something is wrong with this system and we have to change it. So that background of videography is literally what got me into activism, because it was a story to be told. The role of a modern day civil rights leader, I believe, is to just be genuine in whatever your passion is. Sharing stories was my true passion. So when I went out into Ferguson, when I helped organize, what I was really doing was telling the story of the people in St. Louis and why these injustices was so important to us. What we can't have is thinking that everybody has to be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. We don't have to have these big names. You can be somebody that only impacts a few people and still have a role.
We must love and support each other.
Ferguson really gave me a family. Really start to take care of each other, and you really start to look out for each other. And it just gave me a family of people that from all different walks of life, and we're doing something together to make a difference. A lot of times I look at Michael Brown from what stemmed from what happened in that moment between him and Darren Wilson. We were these people before, but had that not happened, we may never have activated the powers that we have. Because all it is just being that little superhero for yourself, for the people around you, and really tapping into that.
I said we had nothing to lose but our chains.
And I feel like had that tragedy not happened, I don't know if I would be this person today.